Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ken Fincher, and I serve as the Vice President for University Advancement and the Executive Director of the Oregon Tech Foundation. It's my pleasure to be with you this afternoon as we celebrate the formal ribbon cutting for the Center for Excellence in Engineering and Technology, something we often call the CEET building. We're excited to have you here today in person and via our virtual platform. It is fitting that we're holding this ceremony in this space known as the Commons. It's designed as an open learning and presentation space. And if you haven't already pictured what it would be like if you were a student sitting there trying to pay attention and looking out over that beautiful view, it's going to be a challenge, but what a great learning experience this particular space will provide. I'd like to call your attention to today's program with a schedule of events for today's festivities. Hopefully you all received one. After our speaking program and the ceremonial ribbon cutting conclude, we invite you to join us for a reception in the lower level lobby down the hallway to my right. And my team knows me very well, so they put gesture to the right, that way, your left, my right. And be sure to stop by if you haven't already at the top here, gesture to the beam. Up to the top left up here, if you haven't already signed your name and had some, well wishes, please do so as well. After we have all the signatures up there, that will be encased, kind of like a shellac, for us to enjoy forever and always. After the reception, we will be unveiling two labs on the second floor. The William A. Olson Jr. Entrepreneurial Laboratory. And incidentally, there was a mistake in the bulletin. That's actually going to be at 3:30. So please be sure to have that at 3:30, right up here. And the Eberline Family Computer Laboratory. We welcome you to attend these lab dedications, or you can begin a self-guided tour of the CEET building. Students and faculty will be waiting to greet you in our featured labs. Those labs are the Chemistry Lab, which is room 112 on the lower level. The Process and Improvement Lab, the 3D Printing Lab, which is just above us in room 209, the Physics Studio, which is in room 234, and the Cybersecurity Defense Lab, room 256. The labs being dedicated, as well as the featured labs on the tour, are marked with balloons, and our staff and the Oregon Tech student ambassadors will be available to help guide you. I also want to welcome some honored guests, many of whom you'll hear about more in the program. I'm going to go through this list of names and then we'll do applause at the end. Dee and Tom Thompson, if you'll just wave. There we go. Alan and Carol Eberline. John Wymore. Where's John? There's John and his family. Doctors Kasturi and Nagi Naganathan. Wave, Kasturi. There we are. Don and Cheryl Boyd. Don's given me the best advice of my married life. He said, Ken, behind every successful man is a surprise mother-in-law. And that's turned out to be true in my case. Also, Bob and Doris Hodge are here. And Neil and Susan Eberline, who will be joining us later today. Please give these dignitaries a warm welcome. Today we have much to celebrate. We have an exciting program, and we're going to begin with remarks from Oregon Tech's president, Dr. Nagi Naganathan. Before joining Oregon Tech as its 7th president in April of 2017, Dr. Naganathan spent the previous 31 years at the University of Toledo in Toledo, Ohio, where he served in a variety of roles, including as a member of the faculty, the dean of the College of Engineering, and Toledo's interim president. He was also the founding chairperson of the Mechanical, Industrial, and Manufacturing Engineering Department. Since arriving at Oregon Tech, Dr. Nagi has started a strategic planning process, set targets for dramatically increased enrollment and retention figures, and encouraged everyone to build more robust partnerships for Oregon Tech. His vision for Oregon Tech to become one of the nation's top polytechnic universities is one that prepares students to work in a global economy, encourages faculty creativity, supports staff development, and makes a positive and lasting impact on the community as well as the world. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Nagi Naganathan.
Thank you, Ken, for that very kind introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. All right, this is such a joyous occasion. Thank you for joining us today in person and virtually to celebrate this momentous occasion. The opening of our new Center for Excellence in Engineering and Technology, also known as CEET, has been more than 5 years in the making, and it is an honor to share this special occasion with you. The opening of this new center is possible thanks to the efforts of many, many people who supported the vision and its implementation. And so many of you contributed to CEET by sharing your own vision for student success, institutional advancement, and industry recognition as Oregon's Polytechnic University. Let me recognize a select few others that are able to be with us today. First, I want to recognize Representative Werner Reschke. Yeah. And I'm going to read several names. Let's hold the applause until the end. We will give it a second round of applause for Representative Reschke. Mayor Carol Westfall, Commissioners Derek DeGroot, Kelly Minty Morris, and Dave Hensley, Board Chair Jessica Gomez, as well as our other trustees in the audience, former Board Chair, Vice Chair Steve Sleva, who was a great champion of this project while he was on the board. He is also with us today. Welcome back, Steve. Where are you? There you are. Nice to have you back. Oregon Tech Foundation President Alan Pulaski and other directors of the foundation board who championed this project. Klamath Community College President and a dear friend of Oregon Tech, and myself, Dr. Roberto Gutierrez. He's here with us. I was hoping to see Rod and Carol Wendt. They were planning to be here today. I also want, oh, there you are. Nice to see you, Rod. Colonel Lee Boma and Colonel Lambert of Kingsley. Happy to have you in the audience. I want to recognize Randy Cox of Casita, Larry Holzgang, the Regional Economic Development Director, Rob Schneider of Lemonson Foundation. Also want to recognize John Stillwell, the Novaks, and many others. One of the risks in mentioning names, you could easily miss some. So please join me in a round of hands for all of their presence here today. And no celebration is complete without your own family attending. I'm delighted many members of our faculty, staff, and student body are here with us today. Some members of our faculty took additional interest in implementing the idea here. I know Professor Beaudry is going to speak later in the meeting. She was very engaged in this process. Also, Dr. Addie Clark, I want to thank them for their active interest and their engagement working with Dean Kaiser, who is also going to be speaking later today, as well as other faculty and staff. I would also like to acknowledge the hundreds of donors who gave to the Foundation's Campaign for the Future for their philanthropy that made the completion of CEET and the renovation of the engineering complex, including the Cornet Hall, possible. I want to especially recognize Rod and Carol Wendt and the Wendt Family Foundation for the transformative $2 million gift that allowed us to meet the state's matching requirements. Please join me in a special round of hand for Rod and Carol and the Wendt family. I also want to mention John Wymore, Oregon Tech alumnus, who is with us. We had the pleasure of celebrating the John and Andrew Wymore Rapid Prototyping Lab in the Cornet Hall yesterday. I would also like to recognize the many who are not individually named today, but who made significant contributions to this project, including the staff and commissioners of Higher Education Coordinating Commission. I want to thank Representative Reschke as well as Senator Betsy Johnson for their high degree of enthusiasm and support in the legislature, as well as Speaker Tina Kotek, Senate President Peter Courtney, and Governor Kate Brown for their leadership and support in making this project possible. Senator Johnson called me last week and she really wanted to be here today. Unfortunately, her schedule didn't allow that. Also, Senator Linthicum wrote to me to convey his best wishes on this occasion. Thank you all for supporting our students in so many ways. please join me in a round of hand to convey our appreciation. I want to say a few words now about the building itself. Oregon Tech was the first institution of higher education in Klamath Falls, and now CEET is the first center of its kind in Southern Oregon. This center is designed to be a game changer for the state, especially for Oregon Tech students, faculty and researchers, and for our industry partners. I strongly believe the choice of space and its design is one of the key contributing elements for the kind of outcomes you want in that particular space. You know, it was a case of an odd couple. I once had a pleasure of spending some one-on-one time with a French stage designer. You know, he's world famous. His name is, I'm sure I will massacre the French part, Jean-Guy Lucas, for a one-on-one breakfast. Somehow we ended up having that opportunity. We talked about space and how he designs his stages with an immersed audience in mind. He was of the strong opinion, you don't create the stages just for the play and the actors. You really have to set the stage for the audience. That was his philosophy. And he said a designer must never allow the architecture to dictate how his or her design is created, but must adapt the architecture to suit the production. I had never forgotten that unique interaction I had with Jean-Guy, and his philosophy obviously made him a world-renowned designer. He has been sought after for his ability all around the world to construct strong and reliable stagecraft, which was at the same time very artistic and very elegant. Now, Oregon Tech building is not a theater, our students are not actors, but this is not just about storytelling. It is about making stories, making life stories for our students. That is how this building is designed. And rather than entertaining and evoking emotion on the stage, Oregon Tech students are going to innovate technologies that will impact economies and societies around the world. So I recall speaking with some of our architects and members of our planning group early on, and my request to them is the building should be about transparency and constructive collision. You don't want to build a strip mall wherein people go into their offices and come out, don't interact with anyone. Let's build a building wherein people will run into each other, have that constructive, innovative collisions wherein new ideas come about and people connect with each other irrespective of their disciplines. It's so interesting. As I go around, one of the things about being in this building is I get to talk to a lot of students. And these are not just engineering students. These are students from various disciplines that come here to study because they enjoy how it feels to be in this building. So it's great to see people from health professions as well as engineering. So with that understanding that structure must support function, this building has been designed with high ceilings, airy workspaces, and large windows to let natural light stream in. And we also made sure there was a very modern, future-looking facade for the building, kind of to convey the theme. This is about the future of not only Oregon Tech, but also the community and the state of Oregon. We have maker spaces with large windows. They create opportunities for transparency. In some ways, it's a biological loop, wherein when people walk by, they see what is happening in that space. So instead of opaque walls, they get to peer through the glass. You know, if they are working on something, perhaps I should be doing the same thing. So it creates that inspiration in the minds of others. It is designed to encourage open thought, cross-disciplinary exchanges, and to foster expansive ideas. I want to recognize our provost, Dr. Mott, if you can do your queenly wave from there. There you go. She has been instrumental and intentional in bringing other disciplines into this building. So across the disciplines, people can get to interact with each other, and there could be more opportunities for that. We want a great idea must have a solid platform from which to launch, and we hope the CEET building will be that launch pad. CEET represents Oregon Tech's goal to create an innovation ecosystem that will be the epicenter of developing the highly skilled professional workforce in our region, in the state, and beyond. We have about 70,000 square feet of space, for students to learn, collaborate, and experiment in state-of-the-art labs and classrooms. The learning fostered in this building will create a forward-thinking and entrepreneurial culture that has a direct and positive return for all Oregonians in engineering and health sectors across Oregon and beyond. We want CEET to be not just a campus building. We want it to be a seat of innovation, an incubator of cutting-edge engineering and technology, education, training, research, and development that will help fuel our state's innovation engine. Classrooms and learning spaces in this building are designed to emulate real-world experiences where students will not only gain technical skills, but also critical thinking skills that will help them solve the challenges of tomorrow. Our vision to educate and train students in this space to become innovators and leaders of tomorrow would not have happened without all of you. To everyone who supported this vision, from students, staff, and faculty to donors and lawmakers, a big thank you for supporting Oregon Tech as we chart a new trajectory in technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship for the next 75 years. Again, please join me in a round of applause to show our appreciation. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce two of our outstanding students who competed in Catalyzed Climate last year and went on to win the grand prize at Invent Oregon Collegiate Challenge, which is, by the way, supported by Lemelson Foundation. Rob, thank you, since he's listening in a virtual setting, for the natural tree structure with photovoltaic solar leaves and a vertical wind turbine to generate power. Mariano Segura is a senior in mechanical engineering and in our honors program. Hannah Wolf graduated in 2021 with dual degrees in renewable energy and environmental sciences. She is currently a graduate student studying renewable energy engineering. Both of them have already accepted excellent offers for gainful employment and will be headed to California to start their careers soon after the upcoming commencement ceremonies. Please give a warm welcome to Mariano and Hannah.
Thank you for having us here today. We're very excited for this event. And as mentioned, I'm Mariano Segura. I'm studying mechanical engineering, and I'll be graduating in just 10 days.
Good afternoon. Also, as mentioned, I'm Hannah Wolf, and I will also be graduating in 10 short days with my master's in renewable energy engineering. Now, as we near graduation, we are eager to start our careers, with the world being in a stage of advancements right now.
As Hannah will look to electrify the world around us with clean energy systems and environmentally cautious to protect our ecosystems, my passions are a little different. My passions are out of this earth. My passions are in space and space exploration, where I look forward to the innovations that will come based on this type of work.
Development of facilities within OIT that promote the critical thinking and curiosity of students to challenge the status quo is vital, and what has allowed Mariano and I to experience challenging hands-on projects during our time at OIT, placing us in a better position for post-graduation when we enter the workforce and prove to be competitive to employers.
Cornet's Makerspace, Machine Shop, OREC, Design Lab, and Robotics Lab provide a space for project design and development with successful hands-on learning. Projects such as my senior project last year, the Lunar Rover, and our renewable energy system, Electero, that went on to win the Invent Oregon competition.
State-of-the-art facilities, as seen in CEET, provide prospective students enticement to joining Oregon Tech as the next innovators, which continues to set us apart from larger universities that cannot compete with our small class sizes, ability to grow relationships with faculty, and opportunity for hands-on coursework.
Sparking innovation and passion with the next generation of students is crucial.
As we continue to soon be alumni of Oregon Tech, we are excited to see the future achievements of students from various programs and all that CEET will have to offer. Thank you.
So my name is Sharon Beaudry, and I'm faculty in the management department. And the reason I was asked to speak today is because I was the project manager for the furniture in this building. So if we all think back to the type of classrooms that we learned in, they likely included those front-facing rows that focused on the teacher in the front of the classroom. We all remember those, right? The interaction in those classrooms focused mainly on one-way communication between the teacher and the student. However, In active hands-on learning, like Dr. Nagi spoke about, the focus is shifted to the students who work together through discussions, projects, and problem solving. The faculty member is no longer the focus and becomes the designer of this experience, and what we like to call the guide on the side. Now, the research, and probably many of you don't know this, the research that has studied this student-to-student active learning approach has shown greater student success in the form of engagement, retention, and even higher scores. And to better support this teaching approach, active learning classrooms, like the ones you see in CEET, have been developed to support student-to-student interaction through movement, teamwork, and collaboration. The CEET building provided Oregon Tech with the opportunity to design a state-of-the-art, forward-thinking learning spaces based on current learning research that directly supports student success as well as our strategic plan. The furniture project was a great example of how leadership, staff, faculty, builders, architects, designers, furniture vendors all collaborated to advance Oregon Tech's mission of hands-on learning. As you tour the building today, notice there are no spaces that are permanently front-facing rows, aside from the auditorium. Rather, we have designed a variety of learning spaces that include lots of bright, movable furniture that encourage students to work together. Even the science and the computer labs are designed to support student collaboration. And I'd like to especially point out the Center for Entrepreneurship, the design of which is based on a modern workspace. It's soft and hard seating, different heights, lots of writing support services to support innovation and creation. Not only will the CEET learning space support hands-on learning and advances in pedagogies, but the space will provide additional opportunities for faculty research of learning spaces. The CEET building and its spaces are already scheduled to be featured in national journals, publications, and conferences. These are additional opportunities for Oregon Tech to share how we are leading the way in advancing educational experiences for our students. Lastly, I want to personally thank Dean Kaiser and Facilities Director Tom Dara, along with our mighty but nimble furniture team, for their ongoing support, expertise, and enthusiasm throughout this project. So thank you very much. Our next speaker is the Dean of Engineering, Technology, and Management, Dean Kaiser.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. As you noticed, Hannah and Mario have left. Mario actually was missing a final that started at 2 o'clock, so he had to leave. But Mario is graduating in 10 days. And earlier today, we had the honor of having somebody that graduated 50 years ago today present, Ben Castriconi. So as Dean of the College of Engineering, Technology, and Management, I've been able to watch the progress of the building as it evolved from on paper with the architects, thank you TVA, to where it is today, and all the involvement from faculty and staff and students along the way. It was quite a process. I've not been involved in a large building process like that with so many inputs, quite challenging, and I want to thank everybody for that. So I want to start by thanking some faculty and staff that were instrumental in giving us input and got us to where we are today. So Sharon Beaudry, Hallie Newport, Dan Carrere, Tim Pasang, Brian Morvick, Christy Weidman, Sean Sloan, Ananita Paul, Troy Sievers, Travis Lund, Addie Clark, John Harmon, Tom Dara, Dan Peterson, Valjean Newsom, and Adria Pascal. Just a few names of people that had a lot of input. It wouldn't have been possible to have these labs and the whole layout of the facility, the hands-on ability for our students without these folks' input. When this main common space was drawn up, it was for the purpose of students gathering to work on projects, both big and small. And 2 weeks ago, Oregon Tech hosted its Student Project Symposium, Idea Fest. We had projects from business, we had projects from management, we had projects from mechanical engineering outside, a few inside, we had telescopes set up, we had applied behavioral analysis projects here, and the flow of this space worked wonderfully. People freely moved about, learning about all the great things our students have done and all the accomplishments they did during their time here. The space itself, although there's an echo here, right? The space itself lended it fantastic to that and demonstrated what our students are capable of and what we hope students will be able to use this space for more and more. Some of the spaces might seem a little empty, but some of it's still floating in the Pacific Ocean on its way here. There's a few things being built. I think by fall, you'll see is a very active space. It's now my privilege to welcome Oregon Tech's Board of Trustees Chair, Jessica Gomez. Chair Gomez has served as a volunteer for 8 years. In addition, she has a side job as CEO of Rogue Valley Micro Devices in Medford, Oregon. And please join me in welcoming her.
Thank you so much, Dean Kaiser. So I do have some notes up here that I prepared for all of you, but we've talked a lot about this incredible space and what this really means for students, and it's just incredible. I just feel so thrilled to be here today. This is a big deal, you guys. It's a really big achievement. I remember way back when we started to envision what this building would look like. This was more than 5 years ago. And there hadn't been investments in the Klamath Falls campus in quite some time. We came together as a board, got through the first year of getting all these policies in place and figuring out how to be our own board. And then we started to look around and go, we really need to improve Klamath Falls. We really need a space that is conducive to creativity. We need a space that will inspire our faculty and our students and inspire industry to get involved with our university. And I look at this building and what has been accomplished here today, and I think we've done it. I really do. This is an investment in our community, in our students, in our faculty, in the future of Oregon's industry in this state. Right? We, at a time where we need technical people, we need engineers, we need people who are going to develop new technology. There is such a tremendous need out there, lots of stuff going on. So my industry is the semiconductor industry, and we've had such a challenge hiring engineers and tapping into resources of other universities, and to have a facility like this right here at home is just phenomenal, and it's really going to yield great things in the future. Thank you so much for all of you being here, for everyone that has supported this project all along the way. And you can hear from the previous speakers how much thought and how much detail has gone into planning this building. Everything from the flow, the layout, to the glass that's really the entryways for every classroom, the way that the furniture was designed, everything is really conducive to that, building that creativity and giving people the opportunity to experiment, to innovate, to develop new technology, to work together in those cross-disciplinary teams. And that's what industry needs right now. Really, really needs. I can tell you, as someone who's out there running a company, we desperately are looking for people who know how to collaborate. And that's what this building will allow us to train people to do. So I'll let you all get on with it. Thank you so much. And I'll turn it over.
Thank you, Chair Gomez. And Sharon, I noticed that there was one thing missing. In my classrooms, there was always a desk in the corner for me to sit in. And I didn't see any of those here, as I'm the only one that had the corner desk with the little hat. Okay, so thank you, Chair Gomez, for your inspiring words and indeed your dedication, and all of the Board of Trustees who are here today. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to take a moment to recognize the following group of individuals whose time and talent helped make this building so remarkable. Some are here today in person, others are joining us remotely. Please stand and be recognized if you're in attendance. I know he's in the back. He was in the back just a moment ago. You've heard his name before, but Tom Dara, our Director of Facilities. Where's Tom? Tom, feel wave. Tom, thank you so much for all you do. Tom's a very special guy, and we thank you and to all the facilities team who make this and every building on this campus a robust learning location. From TVA Architects, Mandy Butler, Tim Wybinga, and Susan Hargrave, are you here? Yes, please stand and wave. Yay, thank you. And now they're going to tell us what the binary says up here in the lights. That's actually binary code from the lights. So if you look up and see that, though, if you know what it is, you don't have to join me in the corner in the special desk. From Adroit Construction, Tom Walker, Craig Funston, and is Craig here? Is he joining? So either Craig they want him to remember that he's retired, or they're telling him he's retired, because it says Tom Walker, Craig Funston, who is now retired, Dave Ross, Bud Reynolds, and Victoria Seppo. Are you here? If not, they may be joining. There, you're in the back. Thank you. Appreciate you joining us. And tell Craig we appreciate his work and good luck in retirement. Both TVA and Adroit worked with multiple subcontractors and consultants on this project, and we want to thank all of them and appreciate their work. Please, once again, join me in a round of applause in acknowledging the efforts of these individuals and the companies for the vision and execution of this project. The construction of the engineering complex, which includes CEET and the extensive renovation of Cornett Hall, would not have been possible without the generous support of the Oregon Legislature in 2017. Thank you to Representative Riskey and for your colleagues for the support. Thank you so much. In addition to the legislative funds, the foundations, the Oregon Tech Foundation's Campaign for the Future provided $2 million in required matching funds. The campaign yielded over 640 charitable gifts from individuals and organizations, totaling more than $4.2 million in funds raised, allowing the university to invest in important strategic initiatives to advance academic excellence. Leading the fundraising effort for this and other campaigns is the Oregon Tech Foundation Board of Directors. Will those past and current members of the Oregon Tech Foundation please stand and be recognized? The Went family was a leadership donor in this campaign, and their support of Oregon Tech and this community is very much appreciated. It is indeed humbling. We want to have a special thanks to Nancy Went and the late Dick Went for their generosity and the generosity from the Richard L. Went Trust, which propelled the CEET and other impactful projects into fruition that will benefit students for generations to come. I would like to acknowledge, although not all could be here today, the Wents and the Went family and Rod. Thank you so much. As I mentioned, we are excited to unveil several new namespaces for campaign donors today. When I call your name, if you will please stand so we can show our appreciation, we'd appreciate that. First is Alan and Carol Eberline. That is for the Eberline Family Computer Laboratory. Neil and Susan Eberline will be joining us for the lab dedication later today. Dee and Tom Thompson for the William A. Olson Jr. Entrepreneurial Laboratory. Thank you so much. Doctors Kasturi and Nagi Naganathan for the Naganathan Undergraduate Research Laboratory. Thank you so much. Additionally, we were honored to unveil the John and Andrew Wymore Rapid Prototyping Laboratory in Cornett Hall just yesterday. John, you're here. Please stand up and let us say thank you again. We want to thank everyone for all the generous contributions that made this building and our laboratories possible. But in addition to the labs mentioned, we'll also be recognizing a group of campaign donors with plaques in the Dean's Office Suite here in CEET. It's back over here to the right. But at this time, it's my honor and privilege to invite Foundation Board members Don and his wife Cheryl Boyd and Foundation member Don Young to step forward for a special presentation with Dr. Nagi. We hope that you'll accept these tokens of our appreciation to commemorate this special day. Dr. Nagi, if you'll stay, we have a couple more. We just want to say thank you for your commitment and to our students through your campaign donations, your foundation board service, and so much more. Thank you so much. Foundation board member Doug Pratt and his wife Nancy, and alum and former board member Mark Bansimer were unable to be here today, but they will also be honored with plaques in the Dean's Office Suite. Many of you joined us for the Cornet ribbon cutting ceremony last October when we recognized other donors as part of the Campaign for the Future with office spaces in Cornet Hall. We would like to invite Bob and Doris Hodge and Alan and Carol Eberline to step forward for a special presentation. Bob and Doris, Alan and Carol, your generosity is greatly appreciated, and it makes such a meaningful difference for students, and we just appreciate all that you do. Thank you so much. We're also honored to have a dedicated plaque in memory of Dr. Randall Fox, graduate of 2008, located just inside the window above us, looking out over the lake. Our sincere thanks to the Fox family who could not be here in attendance. And please go by and see that. It's right over here to our right. Major donors to the Campaign for the Future are honored on the donor wall located in the first floor lobby where we'll hold our reception. We're thrilled to officially unveil this newly installed donor wall today, and we hope that you'll take some time to view it during this reception. Special thanks to Ann Cavanaugh and others who helped with the choosing and the design of that particular donor recognition piece. Thank you so much. So, we have a very special token of appreciation for our honored guest. Noah, as a party, is a talented mechanical engineering student who helps run the Cornet Hall Makerspace, and he has a gift to present to you on behalf of our students. These wonderful owls were printed using 3D print technology in our Cornet Makerspace by Noah and other students. I'd like to recognize Noah and fellow student Levi Halleck for their time and talent under the guidance of MMET Chair Dr. Tim Pasang, in creating and installing the 3D printed sign that you see on the commemorative beam upstairs. Thank you, Noah, Levi, and Dr. Pasang. I'd also like to recognize two other students who helped design those owls, Roberto Erici Vargas and Sasha Rabish. Well, there is a lot to celebrate today, and there's more to come. In the near future, we look forward to honoring the following donors with namespaces. Steve and Nancy Sliwa will be recognized with a namespace in CEET. Dr. Steve Sliwa is with us here today. Thank you, Dr. Sliwa, for your generosity. We look forward to honoring your contributions in the future. Doug and Sally Kingsinger will have the Fab Lab right here to my left. The Kingsinger Fab Lab, room 138 right here. Gary and Katrina Johnston with the MMET Design Center in Cornet Hall. And the Richard Rossi and Master Precision Machining Incorporated with the SAE Lab, also in Cornet Hall. Thank you to all our generous campaign donors. Your leadership giving has helped bring these projects to fruition. Without further ado, I would like to invite the following individuals to come forward for the official ribbon cutting of the Center for Excellence in Engineering and Technology. Handing out the rather large scissors, which are very dangerous, is the person who put all this together. Please give her a hand, Ms. Katie Cavendish. So Katie will be handing these to Dr. Nagi and Chair Gomez, Provost Joanna Mott, Dean Tom Kaiser, Dean Dan Peterson, Professor Sharon Beaudry, Representative Reski, and Oregon Tech Foundation Board President Alan Pulaski. Two. We'll be selling 3x5s of that photo in the gift shop later today if you're interested. And as a fundraiser, I would be remiss, and my bosses are all here, if I didn't say we have other labs and rooms that can be named as well. So if you are so inclined after today, see any one of us, we'll be happy to help you with that endeavor. But I do sincerely want to invite all of you to join us for a celebratory reception in the lower level lobby. To reach the lobby from the lower level, follow the hallway to my right. From the upper level, you can find an elevator to right, just down to my right, your left, and we will be able to do tours, and you can follow your map for this afternoon's lab dedications, which will take place again at 3:30. Again, don't forget to sign the beam thank you all again for joining us for this very special occasion. I hope you enjoy the remainder of your afternoon, and thank you so much. Go Owls.